What if I told you the life you're living right now is the life you've allowed? Not the life you deserve, not the life you dream of, but the life you've tolerated. You're not stuck because of fate. You're stuck because you've been too damn polite with your own pain. Let that sink in for a second, because this one truth, it changes everything. You become what you tolerate. And right now, your future is quietly being stolen by your tolerance for mediocrity, bad habits, draining people, and invisible ceilings you didn't even notice were there. But here's the twist. You're not trapped, you're trained. Let me explain. We live in a world obsessed with comfort. Soft beds, easy jobs, endless scrolling, quick dopamine. But here's the brutal irony. Comfort zones are rarely comfortable. They're just familiar cages. Every time you hit snooze instead of starting your day with purpose, every time you let someone disrespect you without speaking up, every time you say, "It's fine," when you know it's not, you're programming your mind, "This is what I accept. This is what I deserve." It's like feeding a stray cat once. Now it's living on your couch, ordering DoorDash and using your Netflix. That's what tolerating weakness does. It moves in. You start lowering your standards, then your goals, then your identity. Before long, the person you swore you'd never become is staring back in the mirror. That should scare you. Because if you keep tolerating what's beneath you, you'll never rise into what's meant for you. At some point in life, you hit a threshold, a breaking point. Maybe it's one too many betrayals. Maybe it's the realization you've been living the same year on repeat. Or maybe it's that silent Sunday night, staring at the ceiling, asking, "Is this it?" Let me tell you a story. There was a man, smart, kind, driven. He worked a decent job, paid the bills, lived in a nice apartment. But every night, he felt this ache in his chest. Not from heartbreak, not from stress, from potential. He knew he was built for more. But years passed, and he kept tolerating less. Late nights watching YouTube, drinking on weekends with the same crew going nowhere, saying yes when he meant hell no, smiling when his soul was screaming. Until one day, his friend casually joked, "Bro, you're like the CEO of wasting potential." Everyone laughed, but it hit him like a truck. That night, he made a decision. And what happened next was the death of his old life. You see, transformation doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins the moment you say, "Enough. Enough tolerating late nights and lazy mornings. Enough tolerating fake friends who secretly compete with you. Enough tolerating excuses wrapped in logic." You have to burn the old identity to step into the new one. No one gets rich tolerating distraction. No one becomes powerful tolerating weakness. No one builds a legacy tolerating disrespect. You rise when your tolerance becomes intolerance for anything beneath your potential. Let me ask you this. If someone treated your younger sibling the way you treat yourself, with neglect, criticism, and low standards, would you be okay with it? No? Then why tolerate it from yourself? Here's the science behind it. Your brain has what's called a reticular activating system, a filter that decides what you pay attention to and what becomes reality. The more you tolerate low standards, the more your brain filters out possibility. It literally protects you from growth. Because growth feels like danger. So when you finally raise your standards, you're not just changing habits. You're rewiring your entire nervous system to expect more. And once that shift happens, you don't chase success. You repel mediocrity. So what now? How do you stop tolerating and start transforming? Let me break it down, not into vague motivation, but real, actionable fire. 1. Audit your life ruthlessly. Look at your routines, your relationships, your habits. What are you tolerating? Ask yourself, what would I never allow someone I love to accept? What would the 10x version of me say no to? Then, say no, even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable. 2. Create emotional consequences. We change when the pain of staying the same becomes unbearable. Write a letter from your future self. 10 years from now, still broke, still tired, still blaming others. Read it every morning. Let that vision haunt you until your feet move. 3. Set non-negotiables. Every powerful person has standards that are sacred. Wake-up times, fitness, who they hang around, what kind of energy they allow. You don't need motivation when you have rules. You need discipline and non-negotiables. What if you don't change? Let me paint you two futures. Path A, you ignore this message. You tolerate your job, your body, your excuses. You scroll through life. You die full of what-ifs. Path B, you stop tolerating average. You delete distractions. You demand more. You become magnetic to power, to wealth, to impact. One tiny decision chooses the path. Which will it be? Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Your life right now is a reflection of what you've tolerated. But that also means you have the power to change it right now. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who the hell you were before the world taught you to shrink. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's going to force you to level up. No one's going to beg you to stop playing small. It has to come from you, from your inner war, from that sacred rage that says, I'm done settling. I'm not tolerating this life for one more day. If this message woke something up inside you, don't let the fire fade. Click on the next video. This is the truth about success they never taught you. Because what you just heard, that's the beginning. But the truth about success, that's where the game really changes. Let's go. Don't tolerate another second of delay. Your future is waiting.